can we not have TNG on this ship? Like, why don't we have a show of this ship? Like,
right?
What?
Captain Spot, Stardate 220125.3. Welcome aboard the Starship Enterprise, and thank you for joining us on our continuing voyages through the final frontier. I'm your Captain Ian Whittington, and she should give it her best shot because I'm about to intervene. It's Ambassador Deneé.
Go ahead and try, says Borgy Borg.
That's not what Borgy Borg
Make
said.
it so. That's what he should have said.
Oh, that would have been brutal, wouldn't it? Make it so, number one. How are you feeling coming down off of the high of recording Best of Both Worlds Part 2?
Yeah, I feel like last episode was a bit, like, did we go too hard?
I don't think we went hard enough. I mean, you loved it. You adored it.
I had a really great time with it, and I'm still kind of surprised by it, but there's just, anytime you talk to somebody in your life and they're describing something from their childhood that they loved, it's just special. And TNG is always going to be just super special. So to see super happy, smirky Riker and unique Picard, and then everybody just operating on all cylinders, I think that's probably why I liked it so much. Yes, it's good storytelling too.
No, but all of the crew are doing things, like everybody is on it, and it's so dark and so much darkness happens, but there's so much joy in how they save the day. Oh, love it. It makes me happy. Well, we continue our anniversary season through Locutus and the Borg, and honestly, this was just a great excuse to show you what is unapologetically my favourite Star Trek movie. Are you ready to watch my favourite Star Trek movie, Ambassador? First Contact.
I have to be ready, because if I say no,
you'll hurt my feelings.
Your feelings will be really hurt.
They really will. I don't think it's a popular opinion to have this as the favourite. I think it's the most liked of the TNG movies, but I don't know that many people have it up there as their favourite. But I really, really love this movie. I'm super duper excited. I'm going to give you, whether you want it or not, a little quick reminder, or do you remember how Generations ended? The first Star Trek TNG movie that we watched a year ago.
Can we just, start there? I don't remember the movie. Can you remind me, what are the bullet points?
There is, oh my gosh. There's the Nexus, and we start on the Enterprise B with Kirk doing a farewell tour thing.
Right, okay.
There's a big accident, and
he goes down to investigate.
He goes down, tries to repair the shields or whatnot, the deflector dish. The ribbon comes, zaps him. Then we jump forward 80 years to Picard on our Enterprise.
Wearing white
because Worf is getting promoted.
Oh,
and then he falls off the deck of the ship, and they're on the boat Enterprise, the Boaterprise, on the holodeck.
Oh, yes. They make somebody walk the plank and...
To get the hat.
Yeah.
Data pushes Beverly off of the boat.
Which was great.
Which was hilarious, but nobody saw the funny side of it for some reason. And a mad scientist called Soren, who is an Elorian like Guinan, is trying to get to the Nexus.
Because he loves it there.
To be reunited with his family who were killed by the Borg.
Oh.
So that's why he is trying to get to the Nexus. And he's destroying suns to change the gravity in solar systems to move the Nexus.
So that it intersects with him if he's standing at this particular spot.
Exactly, that's it. Picard wants to stop him.
And why does Picard want to stop him?
Because it would mean killing many people.
Okay.
The solar system is inhabited with millions of people.
And he's going to wipe them all out so that he can go back.
Just so that he can go to the Nexus. That's wrong.
Turns out Kirk has been stuck inside of it the whole time.
Exactly. Picard fails on his first attempt. The Enterprise...
To get him out, you mean?
To stop Soren from nuking the sun and bringing the Nexus to the planet. Picard fails. The Enterprise D is being attacked by Klingons, the Duras sisters, who were working with Soren, and they get the shield codes for the Enterprise, and torpedoes go through the Enterprise's shields, blow it up, Riker eventually blows up the Klingons, but the warp core is destabilized. They have to separate the saucer section. The main body of the Enterprise blows up, and the saucer section crash lands onto the planet.
I don't remember anything
you
at
don't
all
remember
until
that?
No, I don't remember any of that until you get to the crash landing, and then I remember watching all the trees fall.
Epic crash landing, trees falling.
Yeah, I remember that part.
And then the Nexus blows up. All of the remaining survivors on the Enterprise, and the planet gets blown up by the shockwave from the planet, but the Nexus scoops up Soren and Picard, and that's where Picard finds Kirk. And then they find Guinan in the Nexus as well, or a shadow of Guinan, because she left a piece of her behind in the Nexus. And Guinan guides Picard to go back in time just before Soren is going to blow up the sun, but with Kirk, and they save the day and stop Soren. All of that to say that Enterprise D is destroyed at the end of Generations.
And that's important because
we have a new ship. There's nothing else that really matters from that. I just like talking about Generations.
So when you say all of the names for the ships, which ship?
Enterprise D, our Enterprise, gets destroyed.
Important. There's a difference between just the letter D and saying our Enterprise.
Our Enterprise is destroyed at the end of Generations.
My Picard's Enterprise.
Your Picard's Enterprise.
That's an important distinction. Okay.
So that's why when this movie starts, we're on a different Enterprise. We're on a new Enterprise, the Enterprise E, my personal favorite Enterprise.
What was your question?
Any predictions for what happens in the movie First Contact?
Oh, Lord. First Contact. Why is it called First Contact? Probably because there's a first contact. What kind of species are they first contacting? Is this more Borg shit?
I mean, it would stick with the theme of the season.
Right.
Being Locutus.
Right. Okay.
And Picard.
Oh, we're definitely going to see Borg Queen then. Yeah. Because if they're going to go take it to the movies, we got to do something crazy big. So we're probably going to be introduced to like the idea of there being the queen.
Okay.
Maybe he's having nightmares of being called back to the collective. And so he decides to try to go figure more out because they realize that they have to get ahead of this bad situation. They need to go in for more information because the Borg are at some point in time going to come back. That's just what they're going to do. We lost one Borg cube. There are many others.
There's going to be more coming.
It's just like somebody who collects dice for Dungeons and Dragons. 1d6 goes down.
It's not enough.
It doesn't matter. There's so many more.
No.
You have a collection of them.
A collective.
Exactly.
If you will. Love those predictions. Amazing. I'm so excited. It is wild that you don't know anything about this movie, and I love that so much.
I'm also a little nervous because it seems like movies tend to decide that we're going to do time travel stuff, and they want to put our beloved people like in the 90s, like the temptation to see the futuristic sci-fi show have to put on regular clothes and go to Walmart. Can they avoid that in the movies?
I mean, to save money? No. Usually it's a great way of saving money.
Or Kmart or Pennies or
Best Buy.
What was back in the day? Go to Blockbuster.
Oh, the crew of the Enterprise arrive at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
I mean, if they did that in the 90s, they'd find a lot of Star Trek content in there. It's always interesting to me to move TNG from a 45-minute episode of TV, Star Trek in general, into movie format. It generally doesn't work. It doesn't usually do very well. It's not the format. It's not meant to be a big sci-fi blockbuster. But that's what this movie is. And the last thing I'll leave you with is that it is directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Oh, that's fun.
And I just want you to know that going in, because I think you're just going to enjoy knowing that during the movie rather than after the fact. Because we love some Jonathan Frakes direction. Anything else, Ambassador, before we get into it?
I think maybe the only thing people might want to know is at what point we're going to stop watching this movie, because we're doing it in 2 parts.
Yes, this episode will be covering up until the 55-minute mark, which is just after the altercation in the holodeck and just before we head back to Earth, where Barclay is pestering Cochrane.
Okay, cool. So now you know what part we're going to stop at, and then that's all my knowledge, because it's important. You have to know that I don't know what the rest of the movie is. We're just going to stop it.
Not at the point when it was meant to be paused either.
Nope.
But
right when they walk into Blockbuster, we're gonna pause.
We'll see you in 10 forward for a full debrief. Sorry. We'll see you in 10 forward for a 50%
Partial.
debrief. Welcome to 10 Forward, the part of the show where we grab something from the Replicator and share our immediate thoughts and feelings on the first half of the movie that we just watched together. Holy shit, most important thing first, Ambassador. What would you like from the Replicator of the Enterprise E?
I guess I'm taking shots of tequila with Deanna Troy.
You're blended, all right. I just want some of the good stuff. Give us a synopsis for the first half of the movie.
Well, let's immediately talk about my predictions.
Oh,
what
okay.
the heck?
It
was
pretty fun.
We've already hit it.
Yeah, your predictions were really great. Probably first contact with someone. Okay, vague, but it is first contact with somebody. Borg Queen introduction.
Hello.
Spot on. Did you have any inkling, any memory of this movie at all?
I've never seen this movie.
That's amazing. That's incredible. This one is where it gets really spooky. I don't even know if you remember this one.
The time travel thing?
No. Oh. Nightmares of being called back to the collective.
Yeah.
It opens on a fucking nightmare of him being assimilated.
Yeah.
Amazing. This is why I like to do the predictions.
It's creepy sometimes what happens. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm special and I have some sort of, some sort of like a gift, some sort of a, psychic ability, some kind of I'm plugged into the ether. And then sometimes I remind myself, no, it makes sense with good storytelling.
It really
just
does.
Makes sense.
Sometimes it's just, this is the logical way to go. And then I love that. I wrote it down word for word. Movies tend to decide they want to do time travel and stuff. And I went, oh, fuck. Shit.
And we want to see him in our clothes. And then they walk out and it's like,
Computer. 21st century clothing. Oh, fuck, they're in trench coats. But in the movie's defense, it's not time travel to our time. It's time travel to the 2060s, which hadn't happened yet and still haven't happened.
Yeah.
So still, it is in the future.
It really counts.
But it still counts because they decided to do time travel. Incredible predictions. Well done. I'm blown away as always. What a
great start to a movie. So, I'm so pumped to talk about this.
Yes. It is non-stop. This movie is non-fucking stop.
Yeah. I when we paused the movie, I was like, we need to pause it right now. There's so much going on. My brain is on fire.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah.
So I'm glad that that's when you plan to pause it too. But we'll get to that. So the synopsis of this movie, the first half of this movie is that the Borg have entered Federation territory and our Enterprise has been replaced, as you said, with a beautiful new Enterprise.
Oh.
So pretty.
Oh.
But Admiral's like, you know what? You guys need to go do some field work. Like go pluck some flowers and scan some trees because
in the neutral zone.
Because we don't want you around because Picard, you were once assimilated and we're not quite sure how that's going to go. Picard defies orders when the fight starts, shows up to a big space battle with the Borg. And because of his knowledge, has everybody direct fire to the Borg ship at a specific spot and a little sphere pops out just before the enemy cube ship explodes. And that sphere just starts headlining for Earth.
Yeah.
And what happens?
On a mission.
Well, right before their eyes, the Earth begins to transform into a Borg Earth, and they realize that they're stuck in some kind of a temporal tunnel, and the Borg are going back in time to fuck with First Contact so that they can assimilate the planet, and basically our ship is caught up in all of that and is attempting to save the future. And we're in two parts. There's some down on the surface, stuck back in time, trying to convince the guy that's got the time travel ship to do his warp ship.
Yep.
To do his warp ship shit. So that
the warp ship shit. Yeah. Ship out the warp ship and do the warp ship shit.
So that the Vulcans
Wait.
will find
Do you
them.
know it? You don't know it's the Vulcans.
It is though, right?
You don't know it's the Vulcans.
We've had this conversation before, right? Like it was the Vulcans were out going, yeah, who are these guys?
Yes.
It's the Vulcans, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Vulcans.
Yeah,
yes.
I fucking remembered that shit.
I'm impressed. Yeah, the Vulcans make first contact with humanity.
That's the kind of fun part of this is like for first contact, that it's not like it's not our crew going on a mission and finding first contact with a new alien species. This is Earth's first contact.
This is our first contact.
That's so fun.
This is reverse first contact. This is making first contact with us. Yeah, love that. Love that.
They've got this kind of mission, but
Uh-oh.
When the Enterprise blew up the Borg sphere in Earth's orbit, they knew that was about to happen, and because shields were down at some point during this battle, some Borg beamed aboard.
Because of the time, the time temporal wake, it destroyed the shields and the scanners very specifically. Like shields and scanners are down. Oh.
So Borg Queen beyond the ship, they don't know it, and they begin their assimilation, and that's something I did not expect. So there is an assimilation of the Starfleet or the Enterprise crew starting on deck 16, and the whole thing is how quickly can they take back their ship. And as soon as Picard senses a disturbance in the Force, he runs back to the ship with Data, and he's on the ship fighting for it, and the crew on the ground is fighting to get the warp ship ready for 11 o'clock the next morning so the Vulcans can come and say hi.
Beautiful summary, Ambassador. Absolutely beautiful. We gave it away a little bit, but overall thoughts and feelings just generally about the movie and how it kicks off and how you're enjoying it.
I'm pissed.
Oh.
I'm angry. I'm upset.
Go on. Because they're fucking with Data?
Well, that, but also, like, can we not have TNG on this ship? Like, why don't we have a show of this ship? Like, why? I feel like this is, it's like watching your favorite people do something really, really great and amazing, and then going, but I want to see this every day.
And you only get 3 movies of it, and 2 of them aren't so great. Like this is the peak of TNG movies, and yeah, I could do an entire podcast about the Enterprise.
It's really sad.
E. It is it's
so pretty,
stunning ship.
It's amazing,
and I love how they just introduce it. Like there's no like slow camera pan reveal. There's no like unveiling. It's just the backdrop when we first see the Enterprise E with that colourful purple nebula in the background gas cloud thing. Like that is my wallpaper. Like it is stunning. It's like just bam, new ship, beautiful. Not to mention the interior design of this ship, just the maroons. It still like holds over some of the internal stuff of the Enterprise D with like some interesting color choices, but it's the most beautiful ship I have ever seen inside and out.
And then the upgrade to their uniforms where they're still structured very jumper-like, but instead of it being dominantly red or dominantly yellow, they've adapted it to where, you know, it's like a uniform, all the same color.
A little
sort of like a gray, sort of over, like a little over
gray.
thing. Yeah.
Can I explain why they did that?
Because everybody was tired of seeing that much color.
Yes.
And we don't need it anymore. Like, yes, we know we have color TVs now.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay. It's 1996. We're fine. We can do it. So there's no on-screen reason, but some books and some fan headcanon, and I think some writers have confirmed it, that it's because this is as they're heading into the war with the Dominion. I don't think the war has actually started yet, but they're kind of getting on a war footing, and there's more like skirmishes and tactical missions happening. And yeah, having your body completely covered in red, yellow, and other primary colors.
Just walking targets.
Just like walking targets. So they went with all black and the purple and just like a little bit of color for the command. So it was a tactical decision. It's more of a wartime uniform. Love that. It completely makes sense.
No, but I mean, I've already given it away. I'm having the best time. It is so much fun. There's so much to talk about, and it's only halfway done.
I love it. I didn't know which way this was going to go because I thought there was a chance that some of the biggest arguments against this movie is that it's an action movie and it's too actiony, and I'm like, it's great action.
What do you want? Like a love drama?
I mean, you'll get that in Insurrection in the next movie. Like, if you're going to be on the big screen, use the big screen.
Yeah, that space battle was fucking epic. But can we talk about this movie? Come on, let's do
it. Let's get into the movie. So yeah, we open up on a double dream fake out. Actually, before that, we open up on, I think, 17 and a half minutes of opening credits. Were you okay, or did you... Wait, you liked it?
Listen, I mean, I remember when this is how movies started.
Yes.
It's not a big deal to me. If you're going to watch a movie and you don't realize that this is how they just used to be,
yes,
then yeah, you're going to be like, when does the movie start? But it wasn't until, I don't know, Lion King. Lion King is one of the first movies I remember watching where it just starts.
Just begins,
and I was in the theater watching it when it happened. And I remember everyone looking around confused because...
That's fun.
Oh, it's just starting? And then you forgot that they hadn't done the titling yet. And then they boom Lion King with the music.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh. And there was literally people cheering and clapping because it was so impactful to change the format of how a movie starts. So for me, it was just, is it the most interesting start to a movie?
Yes, it is. And the reason it is, Deneé, is because of the music. The music is incredible. That score, and you know this, if I were to have a large, ostentatious wedding, the only reason I would have that is so that my bride could walk down the aisle to Jerry Goldsmith's score. This is something I told you after I proposed to you we were just like casually talking about it. And I was like, you know what? I have picked out some music that I would have. And I skipped the TNG intro and started it at the da 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 do do da da da. And I don't know if we've told this on the podcast before, but you were like, this seems really familiar. And you started humming like, bum, 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 and like, you bastard, you guessed it. And it ends, and you're like, this is really beautiful. And it ends and goes into the TNG theme. And you're like, it's Star Trek. I was like, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I love how you're like, my bride would walk down the aisle. Sir, you would walk down the aisle.
I would walk down the aisle to that. It is a beautiful orchestral piece.
You would walk down the aisle in that. The doors would open. It would fill up with some kind of like warp core steam-esque thing. Yeah. You'd have your dress uniform on, all your pips, and then I would descend from the ceiling like a Borg queen.
Yes! Just your torso. You get descended into your wedding dress. That's the dream. I mean, come on. That's what we want. But no, honestly, that score, Jerry Goldsmith, you beautiful bastard. It is stunning. It is, and it carries on throughout the movie as well during the emotional moments with Lily. It comes back towards the end as well. It is it's my all-time favorite piece of Star Trek music, and that is saying a lot because there is so much great music in Star Trek. But yeah, we kick into a double dream fake out nightmare. How interesting is it to see Locutus, Picard being assimilated, and a 1996 version of Locutus, like 6 years removed from the episode. But we just watched it yesterday.
Right.
And you can tell could you tell that there were some upgrades, some special effects differences?
Well, yeah. The filming was much clearer. The Borg ship, when you start off sort of zoomed in and then we begin to zoom out, and you're seeing so much more detail.
The scale of it.
Yeah, and it is really nice. The symbolism is interesting to see Jean-Luc like in his red uniform and how jarring it is compared to the landscape. And it starts off with him being fully human looking, and then flashes of him becoming Borg. What a smart thing to do right at the beginning, because there may be people watching this movie that have no idea what they're watching. They may have just gone to see, and you can pretty quickly surmise that he was once Borg. And then, of course, he's rejected to go to the front line of the battle because he was once Borg. So it sets that stage, just the little information that's really critical to this movie. Sort of hearing it in his mind and these things. I think they did a really good job with just the subtlety, but then also where it needs to be really direct, like he was once Borg.
It's actually a really friendly movie to new Star Trek fans, which is weird considering it's a sequel, and it's a sequel to a TV episode as well. Like, it's continuing a story, but there's so much welcoming you into the world of Star Trek through like Cochrane and Lily as well, and explaining what the 24th century is like, what Star Trek is about.
Right.
It's a good attempt at an introduction if you so happen to be joining Star Trek in this movie.
I would have loved to have been that person.
Right.
But the double fake out, I was like, ugh, because they do a couple of things with the special effects that maybe they have a budget for it, right? So
don't say it.
Not only do we get to see him Borgified with more detail, like you said, he's got kind of more veins on.
Yeah,
there's a lot more detail.
Yeah.
There's also a press against an eyeball.
No, there's not. No, doesn't happen.
He opens his eye and he opens up, he quote unquote wakes up and he is in his chair in this new uniform. And then he goes to put his face with some water and kind of wake up a little bit from this crazy dream. And then you see these like nanos under his skin and then this bursting out. And that's the CG, that's so the special good effects that really go, whoa, that was unexpected. And so
it's such a good effect, isn't it?
Like, I wrote down jump scare dream number 2. God damn it. We have been bamboozled. That's in my notes.
It's happened again. But I can buy that, like, there's some dormant thing that's still in his blood that awakens. So it's not like super extreme. I get that could have actually happened, but
yeah, you kind of feel like that could be something that just happened as he woke up and has to go see Beverly because the nanos have woken up. But no, he's got
What's
an incoming.
What's wrong, Jean-Luc? I mean,
can you see this on my face?
Could you see? It's not a zit.
But the incoming transmission from the Admiral wakes him up, and we find out when the Borg attack comes. When he says the Borg attack comes, he's like, "I know."
It's so haunting. He's like,
indication,
I know,
like
that he
the
knows. Dreams, and we don't know how often he dreams about them. It could be quite often, but we know that there is something different about this dream. He's like, "Yeah, I know they're coming. It's the Borg." I wish I could go into this movie completely blind just once, because I've watched this movie from such a young age that I have no memory of the first time watching it. I cannot remember the first time. So I have no recollection of, even if I knew what the Borg were. Maybe I watched this before I'd seen the Borg. Who knows? Like I really cannot remember, but I would love to go in not knowing anything and just having that drama and dread. Then the new Enterprise on screen, Picard does his captain's log. The moment I've dreaded for 6 years is finally here. The Borg have returned, because you know it's going to happen. As soon as Best of Both Worlds finished, there's no way that's the last time the Borg are going to try and invade Starfleet. It's a gift. They keep sending one fucking ship at a time, to be honest. But it's just that sense of dread that Picard has of the time has come, like I've dodged it for 6 years, but the Borg are back.
Being a first timer, it's pretty cool.
Yep. So the next couple of minutes is Picard explaining to the crew that we're actually not going to be on the front line of this fight. And just how baffling that is to the crew. It's like, we're the flagship. Geordi says we're the most advanced ship in the fleet. I can't believe we're being sent to the neutral zone. What do you think about that choice? Do you buy it in universe? Because I struggle to buy it in universe a little bit, even with Picard. Like, relieve Picard. Relieve him of duty, put Riker in charge. I just feel like you need the Enterprise on the front lines.
I guess if they are concerned about the captain being taken back over or having something happen, yeah, like don't be out there, but be like, hey, we're going to put you on a shuttle.
Yes.
You just hang out here. We're going to let Riker take over and bring this big badass ship to the fight. But I don't know. It's something like, yeah, maybe I can see that. But can we talk more about how the table glows now? You know?
Yes. I will talk about this all day long. The internalness of the Enterprise E is beautiful. We got a good look at Picard's ready room, which is beautiful. He has a little nap bed now. I think that's his ready room and not his quarters. I could be wrong, though. I got the impression that was his ready room.
When he was playing the music really loud?
No, when he woke up from his second dream fake out. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
But anyway, we go to the briefing room. He has his gold ships that are still up in the briefing room. And speaking about remodeling, there is a Geordi that doesn't have a visor.
That's what I was joking around about the table, because I'm literally, here's my notes. Geordi's eyes. Geordi's eyes. Geordi's eyes. Oh my God, Gates is gorgeous. Geordi eyes.
Yes. Gates is now blonde. Beverly is blonde.
Yeah, like we're just doing things we're not talking about it. We're just doing it.
Yeah.
The table glows. Everything is different. Uniforms are different. Geordi has eyes. The debriefing is fine. I think it is a surprise. Do we really feel like they're going to be out? It kind of feels like a fake out to the fans.
It does.
Because they're like, the Borg are here. And you're like, oh, yeah, we're going to have a Borg battle. And like, no, actually, we're going to go collect some samples. And that's why we're calling it First Contact. So, the fans are going, okay, so this would mean that we're going to go to a planet and we're going to have First Contact. And in the background.
Thought for a minute?
No, I never thought that for a second. Because it actually ends pretty, quickly, this sort of, because it's not very long after this that we're going out anyway.
No, Picard is listening to loud music. I've always assumed he's listening to loud music to drown out the sound of the Borg. Like, he can hear the Borg ship coming.
In a beautiful shot of his reflection against the screen and then Riker appears as a reflection. Really nice.
So beautiful. I always want Riker to be like, sir, we're getting noise complaints from the kindergarten that's next door. But yeah, Riker brings
the first report.
The first report
it's
of
so
the
funny.
neutral zone.
And there's just such sarcasm. Oh, fascinating. Look at this.
Oh, this is clearly worthy of our attention. Like, it's a super sarcastic Picard that we don't often get.
Yeah, and it's nice. I mean, 6 years have passed. You've got this crew that's been together for a long time now. So you get to see Picard and Riker's relationship with each other, that Picard can be that kind of sarcastic eye roll, like, ooh, look at this report of some space dust. How interesting.
Fuck you, Starfleet.
And then this is when they specifically line out that Starfleet has faith in the crew and the ship, but not the captain, because there's an unstable element. This imperfect man can't lead a fight. And, Riker is like, you are the perfect man to lead the fight. And Admiral Hayes disagrees. Then is when the fleet have engaged the Borg.
Oof.
We have this shot of the bridge. Everyone is and everyone is reacting to all of the audio that's coming in from this horrible attack,
which has been edited together perfectly. Like, the computer has used an AI algorithm to transmit the most traumatizing audio in order. It's a great edit.
It's really intense, and the camera angles are intense. And of course, because you told me who was directing it, I was thinking about that the whole time.
Yeah, so Frakes using some Dutch angles to be scary.
And eventually Picard just reaches over and kills the audio and says, set a course for Earth, max warp, and says he's going to directly violate the orders, and if anybody wants to object, he'll note it in the log. And then of course Data has his epic line here.
I love it. I think I speak for everyone here when I say, to hell with our orders. And he has a little wobble, the emotion chip is switched on. Everyone's smiling. It's just perfect that it comes from Data, who is Spock. He is the most logical person in the room. If there's anybody that wouldn't disobey an order, it's Data. So coming from him is more powerful than Riker, than basically anybody. And I love how little time it takes to get the fucking movie going. It is nonstop. Like, you could sideline the Enterprise for a while, you could have a debate, you could argue, but it's like, cut it out, we're gonna go. I'm amazed, like, he even went to the neutral zone and didn't just turn up. But
it's like, red alert, great. All hands to battle stations, engage. And it's just
so
boop,
fun.
boop, boop. And then they turn and they zoom, and then we're just looking at this beautiful shot of the Borg cube, and then it goes underneath it. We're sort of seeing these different sides, and all the ships are firing on it. It's
incredible. I love this. This is my second favorite battle in all of Star Trek. It is, you can see what's happening, Deneé. Like, the camera isn't spinning around and rotating. The camera just kind of hangs there in space. Yeah. Cuts between a couple of other cameras, but we just see the ships flying around the cube. The Defiant doing its thing with Worf at the helm.
I was so shocked. I was like, Worf, what are you doing?
So the reason for that is Worf is currently on Deep Space Nine. So when TNG ended, when Generations ended, he joins the cast of Deep Space Nine to boost the ratings because they weren't doing so well. And he is on Deep Space Nine doing things, which is why Riker makes the jab, I hope you remember how to, do you remember how to fire phasers? Because he's been firing Cardassian weapons, which are disruptors. So he hasn't had to fire phasers in a while, and the Defiant doesn't have phasers. It has just those torpedo things that fire. I don't think it has phasers. But yeah, so Worf has been drafted. The Defiant is the first purpose-built warship. Like, it wasn't built for exploration. It was built as a come and get us Dominion to guard Deep Space Nine and to give the plot a reason to have a ship to go to different planets as well, because apparently being on station was getting a bit tedious. So yeah, we've got Worf in charge of the Defiant, and I'm sorry you're not getting much room to talk right now, Deneé, but the score is so great, and I can't believe it's taken this long to do it, but the bum 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 when we first see Worf is the Klingon theme from the motion picture. So when we first, in the very first ever Star Trek movie, when the Klingons first appear, that's the music that scores them. And it's kind of it's the Klingon theme. And so to have that when Worf is at battle doing his thing, and when he comes onto the bridge, the theme plays again. Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah, honor the man like we should. Honor this amazing character that does not get used. You know, you joke around about Choi a lot. One thing I've noticed watching TNG with you lately is Worf is entirely underused.
Worf is entirely underused.
It's so frustrating.
Until much later on, but and not fully until Deep Space Nine.
Interestingly, he's a character I love.
Yeah.
Like every time I see him, I'm just like, yeah, Worf. And his lines are great. So his line now, which was very upsetting to hear within the first 12 seconds of seeing him, is perhaps today is a good day to die. Sir, no, you are not allowed to die.
No. Do you know why?
You're not allowed to die.
Do you know why he's not allowed to die? It's the Enterprise! That line delivery is just in my head all the time. It's the Enterprise!
How quickly he's like, too. He's like, perhaps today's a good day today. Prepare for ramming speed. We're gonna
prepare for ramming speed.
Which is exactly what we saw, before, which is we're gonna ram this thing at warp speed. So I was like, okay, let's go, but also stop it. And then the ship shows up. When the Enterprise shows up and kind of blocks.
It shields the Defiant. That's space direction. Oof. Well done, Frakes, for directing the Enterprise so well.
Oh my God, it was so fun.
It's dorsal side. Is it dorsal? I can't remember. But the top side is up. It comes in sideways to fully block
the Defiant.
All of the fire from the Defiant and just give it a chance.
Because it was already kind of on fire a bit. It wasn't looking very good.
No.
And then from inside the Enterprise, they beam all of the survivors on board, which is just so great.
It's so great.
Yeah.
And the entire battle is just incredible. Like you get to the Akira class. So the Akira was the other glory ship that has the kind of lowered nacelles, and it's a little bit. It has a saucer section with the lowered nacelles, and it's a bit more kind of stumpy. Love the Akira. It's just a great looking ship, and it's just spinning around, firing torpedoes and phasering. And I get it in Best of Both Worlds why you don't see any damage being done to the Borg ship.
Right.
But I like that you can see damage being done to the Borg ship in this, and it can still function when it's damaged. And of course, it's all about the budget, but I love that we're at a point where they can do damage to the ship as well. It's going to take an entire fleet, but we have advanced and we are doing it. And yeah, it's a stunning space battle. It tops anything we see in Star Wars and any other Star Trek movie for me. I love it. I kind of wish it was longer, but maybe it wouldn't be as great if it was longer.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really, really fun to watch. I would have watched it for longer.
Yeah.
There is something that's nice about seeing models on screen and shot.
Deneé, you're talking dirty to me. Oh Jesus!
because they can go
models.
You can go slower on the filming. You have to sit. You have to sit still because it's a model. It's not something that you can just tell a computer to whip across the screen really fast. And I don't know. There is something nice about just watching how movies were made, remembering why we like them. I remember talking about this when with the movie that I didn't remember when the saucer section is separated and then it kind of falls down, and it's just watching that model just wreck shit.
I love it. I had something in my brain. I just wanted to check that it was physical models, and it is. First Contact used physical models, and you can tell. There is no two ways about it. You can tell when it's a physical model. Being
it's the
on
lighting,
screen and
the lighting.
It is the lighting.
You can,
it is.
As our little fallible brains, even though we're watching great CGI stuff, they can light it from all these different unique ways when we're watching Strange New World or something like that. But seeing the models on screen and they're lit and it looks fun and there's lots of them together and they're fighting a big Borg cube. How fun I would have loved to watch filming that day just to kind of get a perspective. It's one of the reasons I think Lord of the Rings is really fun for me is all the models that they did of all of the cities and there's just such detail that you can pull. And you would think, oh, but it's not the same detail as CGI because you can do so much more with like the pixels and all this. But it just doesn't feel the same. And I think it is the lighting. I think we can just
It's
tell.
the lighting and it's the scale. Like, this is something that I can't, like, compute in my head properly. But I get a sense of scale on the Enterprise on the Enterprise E that I don't get on the Strange New Worlds Enterprise.
Yeah.
And that I don't get on any new Star Trek show. I don't feel the physicality, the weight, and the size of, and the physics of, and I think it's physics of an actual model. Because you can tell the computer to like just turn on a dime and it will. But the Enterprise is always kind of lumbering and these slow, really thoughtful maneuvers. Because it's a fucking huge ship that has to rely on thrust and actual physics to move it around.
Or little strings hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh wow, my mind just merged reality.
You really
Oh
did.
no, it doesn't actually have thrusters today. It's a model. We just said that. Damn it. That's how much I'm in Star Trek. Shit.
Yeah, it was a
you know
really,
what I
really
mean.
fun battle. And one of the things that made it really nice for me is that Picard takes command of the entire fleet too.
Yes, he does.
I'm sure he's probably going to get in trouble a little bit for it, but nobody fucking cares when they're all about to die.
No.
And how crazy is it that he's like, I'm taking command of the fleet. Do the following orders to fire on my command. And Data's like, this doesn't really look like it's a vital thing. And he's like, trust me, dude. And then he says, fire, like really softly, just so quietly and just softly. He doesn't scream it.
No.
He just says it. And then we get to watch every single person just fire at the same spot. And here's my notes. Fuck yes, battle, destroy, fuck yes. It was so fun. It looked so cool.
So torpedoes just, why is that so satisfying? It's like popping a zip or something. Like, it's just firing torpedoes and phasers into this cavity. It's just, like, I remember doing raid battles with my friends in, like, Destiny and, like, doing co-op on Halo. And when you're getting towards the end of the boss fight, all of the mechanics and the hoops that you have to jump through are done. It's just open fire. Save your supers, get your big rocket launchers out, and fire everything. I think it just appeals to a really carnal, fighting caveman thing inside of us.
Like when you pick up a machine gun and you just blow away a Borg. Kind of real primal like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also a moment when Picard kind of just like tilts his head as the Borg sphere shoots out, and Troy says, what is it? And he says, I can hear them. And just really quietly, these nice little subtle, unnerving little bits.
But it's also a good reason to not have Picard in the fight, because if he can hear them, they can hear him. Like, I do get sidelining him. I just don't get sidelining the Enterprise.
And that's when Worf comes back and they say,
mission to come aboard, Captain.
Tough little ship. Little. So funny. So
the
good.
barbs between
Love
him
it.
and Riker are incredible.
And then they go through time travel.
Yeah, and then there's a temporal wait. And I can never remember this line. I don't know if you wrote it down, but Data says a thing, Riker says a thing, and then Picard says time travel. Like, they all say time travel three different techie ways.
Temporal wake.
Yeah.
And all this. Yeah.
Enhanced tachyon feel, like tachyons as time travel. And yeah, the Borg sphere has escaped the Borg cube, has created a time portal to go back in time, and conveniently, the convenient Enterprise is conveniently held in a convenient temporal wake of convenience, so it can witness all of the changes that are happening. And what's happening to Earth, Ambassador?
Well, apparently, somehow the Borg got all 9 million people on Earth, but then
7 billion.
At the same time,
Or 9
what did I
billion?
say? 9 million?
Yeah, you said 9
I did
million.
not mean to say 9
A
million.
bit more than that, no. It's about 9 billion.
It's a lot.
Yeah. All Borg.
9 billion, all Borg. So is the idea that, like, if they had stayed in their timeline, so the sphere successfully goes back.
Mm-hmm.
And in that split second where they're successful because they hadn't been blown up, or maybe they're successful because they get the hold of the Enterprise.
So,
but they're in this temporal wave, and they're seeing that the Earth has changed. So everyone behind them that just survived that battle,
they didn't survive. They weren't even born. Yeah, they weren't even born yet. They never happened. So in this type of time travel, it's just one timeline, and anything you do in the past affects everything after that point. So there's no branching alternate realities.
And it's because the sphere is going back in time to stop the Vulcans from seeing this planet, and then they take over the planet quietly and secretly because
It's a point in time when Earth is really vulnerable.
Right.
Their military is absolutely crippled, and they just assimilate everybody.
And they're seeing the Enterprise is seeing Earth Borgified as they go back in time, and then when they get back in time, they see that it's regular Earth, before first contact, and they start to figure out what the Borg are doing, essentially, which is destroy the area where first contact happened, and then take over the Enterprise, and then take over the Earth. Yeah,
the Vulcans aren't going to intervene. They're not going to be like, this is odd. What's that? That doesn't look good. They won't even know Earth exists. And they're ripe for the picking, and Earth being apparently one of the biggest threats to the Borg, just easy pickings in the past.
It's just really interesting, like how depressing it would be to be going back in time, seeing that you failed.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
Because
it's interesting.
They're in a reality going, we have to prevent it from happening, but the theory here is that they went.
So the weirdness with it is that they should actually see success, you would think. But
they don't.
The point is, for this, the temporal wake has essentially pulled the Enterprise out of time. So the Enterprise in that second doesn't exist. So the second the Borg go back in time, the future has happened and it's successful because the Enterprise is like between time zones. So it didn't exist to prevent.
Okay, so they pop out of the wave, and because they're not in the wave, then the Borg would succeed.
Yeah, exactly. If they decided to reverse course, then they would disappear. They would delete themselves. Yeah, right. But because they push forward, now who knows what the future is? Who knows what it will be? It's
a very interesting thing to think about, but we don't have time to think about it because shit's just going down. And all of a sudden we're at this exterior shot of this nice little peaceful camp down on the surface. And then we have a nice little long extended moment of everybody in that camp just getting fucked up and flying off of buildings and explosions and like Wilhelm screamish type stuff going on. I don't think there was actually a Wilhelm, but it was close.
I don't think there was. But again, it's just this entire opening is just non-stop action, time travel. I don't know what much more you could want from the opening to a movie. Like, this was my go-to pizza movie for a long time. Like, I would order a pizza and then fire up First Contact because I know that while I'm eating my pizza, I'm going to have something really entertaining to watch because it's a non-stop opening. So we find ourselves in the past. The Enterprise is scanning the planet once they take care of the Borg sphere, and they work out exactly where they have been firing. Montana. And Picard works out why that is so relevant.
April 4th, 2063, okay?
Yeah.
Big day.
It's coming.
It's tomorrow.
2063, the Vulcans are coming.
Yep.
We just have to hold it together for 38 more years, people.
Yeah, in 38 years, we will have survived the Third World War where 600 million people die.
It's going to be a rough 38 years.
My poor child.
Right.
Like, sorry to bring you in during such a shit show.
But it's going to get really good after that.
Yeah, after that, there's not going to be wars. There's not going to be hunger. There's not going to be money. We're going to all just be ambitious because we like each other and shit. It's going to be great.
But so this is where the premise really kicks in, and they deduce that the Borg are going back into the past to prevent First Contact from happening. So it makes them easy targets, assimilate Earth in the past so that they aren't any opposition in the future. I love that for a premise of a movie. That's such a solid premise, and it just immediately sets up, here's the problem that you need to solve. It's Borg, it's time travel, it's Star Trek lore. It's spelling out when certain dates happen. I don't think we had an exact date of when First Contact happens until this movie. So it does so much for me as a premise.
Yeah, but then it goes extra and makes the Borg on the Enterprise, which is where things get really exciting and intense. So Beverly and Picard and Data go down to find out kind of what happened. They get in the civilian clothing. Number one gets the bridge. And they start kind of looking around. Everything's pretty fucked up. They open up like a little bunker. Everybody's dead.
Yep. Find Cochrane.
And they go to check the warp ship. And this is when we meet Lily, because they're sort of scanning this ship that's supposed to go to warp the next day. And Lily is down, looking up at them and just starts like firing a machine gun.
Greetings.
Yes. And this is so great. I love it so much when Data's like, I believe I can handle this, Captain. And he just jumps down and he gets blasted by bullets. And then when they stop, he sort of, okay, well, that's done. Greetings. So good.
I always thought when I was younger, because I always missed the radiation line and I didn't understand what radiation sickness is. I always assumed that Lily just passed out because she shot a robot man.
Right.
And nothing happened.
Honestly, I thought that was happening as well. And I kind of rolled my eyes like, oh, a woman's going to pass out because she's so overwhelmed.
I think that's fair.
But it's actually because she needs medical attention. And Beverly inoculates everyone for radiation poisoning with the KSS device that we have now 3D printed.
Yeah.
We get to play with all the time. And Iris tried to hypo spray me just a couple of days ago with her hypo spray for funsies. Yep.
It's the put to sleep toy now. I love
it. And they beam out to the ship. So, but they have this funny kind of like interaction where she's like, don't give me any talks about breaking the prime directive. I'm going to keep her unconscious the whole time. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
It's all right, Mom.
It's so funny. And that's another great way to serve the fants who are thinking, wait, you're just taking him back to the ship? This is a terrible idea.
Of all the people, like, don't bring her. I assume she's in the history books. I don't know. Well, actually, no, I don't think she is because Picard doesn't seem to recognize her as, Lily, your Cochrane's friend who helped build the Phoenix. He seems to have no awareness. Just wild. Like I wanted some recognition.
I usually just talk from my female perspective and I really talk about race, but it always annoys me to see these characters just be erased. And even in this movie already, I'm glad to see a black female. I'm excited that there's more diversity in front of my eyes, but I'm not surprised that she's not mentioned.
Her contribution was forgotten.
And her contribution, by the way, was to gather all of the fucking titanium needed for the goddamn ship.
Yes.
Sounds like she's pretty fucking important.
Yeah, she's incredible. My prediction is you are going to adore her for the rest of the movie, for the second half of the movie.
I'm really enjoying
love her contribution.
Her role in this has been really fun for me. The survival, this sort of like feral cat quality that she's got going on where she isn't going to take orders from some crazy person that she just woke up looking at. She's going to take, everything into her own hands. And that beautiful moment when Picard takes her hand when she's looking out, at the Earth. And I like how she's acting. I need to.
Alfre Woodard.
I am loving it. I'm loving how she's acting as this character, and she seems really sassy
on the rails as well.
Yeah,
I'm not going up in that ship with you drunk. Well, I ain't doing it sober. I love her. She's a great addition. She ends up being the heart and core of this movie in the second half.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I cannot wait. We get a little bit of exposition here where Picard explains exactly what the Phoenix is to the audience so that we know, and explains like his feelings about it, and Data kind of tries to find some connection to it as well. And it's that Cochrane took a nuclear missile, engineered it, redesigned it, and used it as the housing for the first ever warp-capable ship. And it's a ship that's in Picard's childhood, being on display at the Smithsonian. And it's one of the other reasons I love this movie is that giving us that glimpse into Star Trek lore as well. The first ever warp-capable ship is a huge deal. Like that's really, really important shit.
And also, like, they do cut back to the ship, like right before Data and Picard touch the ship, because they need to establish that Alpha Team is heading to the surface to get it up and running, because they've established that there's some shit going down. Geordi's sleeves are rolled up, by the way,
because it's warm. And he's an engineer; they have to be rolled up.
Everybody else's are down.
He's the best engineer, though.
So the best engineers get to roll up your sleeves?
It's like O'Brien. If you see O'Brien in Deep Space Nine, his sleeves are always rolled up.
It's just allowed at some point.
Just allowed.
And just a nice little subtle kind of like as he's walking out, he's saying, hey, check out those environmental controls. It's getting warm in here. And that
mystery time.
It was like just two little quick moments that are kind of lost, because then, we're right back down touching the ship. Data says he's detecting imperfections in the casing and temperature variations in a manifold, but it's no more real to him than it was a moment ago. And Deanna pops out and is like, would you guys like to be alone with the ship? And then she, of course, says that there's not really been a sign of this
so sassy
Cochrane that needs to be considered. And and then we go back up to the ship, this orbiting beautiful ship.
So did you, obviously you're so good at picking up on this stuff, but when Geordie says, find out why it's so damn hot in here, did you like pick up what was going on?
You don't say
was
stuff
it just
in
like
movies unless it's
another
important.
Yeah,
there's no throwaway lines. It
No.
is a kind of the hard thing about once you tune into what makes movies movie. When you have, it would be fun if there was throwaway lines, and there are movies where you can feel that they're not all quite important. But in a movie like this, everything is linking to something else because it's such a fast-paced moment.
It's so fast-paced. It's clipping by so fast. And this is where Jonathan Frakes gets to indulge in a bit of horror.
Oh, the Jefferies Tubes.
The only bit where I'm a bit eye-rolly, because your man Paul goes up into the Jefferies Tube.
Yeah, he's got to check some shit out.
And guess what? His best friend does exactly the same thing. Hears a scream and just jumps up. Aww. And that's not what you do, Deneé. You don't go into a Jefferies Tube when you've just heard a scream.
No.
There could be a Genesis happening. There could be anything happening.
You scan that shit.
And
then you report that shit.
And you go bloop, bloop, bloop. Paul?
I like to think that it was the Borg Queen.
That did the assimilating?
That was in the Jefferies Tubes.
Oh, that would be
Because she was kind of like slithering.
She hadn't got a torso yet?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the Borg were sort of more like lumbering, droney.
Yeah.
And whatever was in the Jefferies Tube was very much sort of like a slithery,
like a
quick, sneaky thing. Yeah. So I like to think it was just her sort of rolling around with her little neck.
Yeah.
She didn't even have any arms. So it's just these weird like little scooty bits of her spine.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Well, it is a horror moment.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It is.
Oh, but then Picard kind of senses something, and that's
I love this. I love
he's
the
on the
speed walk.
surface, and it kicks into high gear. And like as you said, this is a greatly paced movie because we're not spending any time. Picard's like, Riker, you're in charge. I'm gonna go back to the ship with Picard and
with Data.
Oh yeah, with Data, and he even checks in with Worf because right now everything is working, and Data's like, yeah, the environmental difficulties. There's some humidity going on. It's a little hot. It's a little hotter in here.
I love when they spell out the conditions, and it says like 97% humidity, 39 degrees Celsius, 39 degrees Celsius. The exact temperature of a Borg ship. I love that little bit of deductive reasoning.
Oh yeah,
100.
He's right now in this moment. He's like. Something
right.
Oh,
it's more vague, isn't it?
It's very vague right here. He's like, I got to go back and I got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we cut over to the sick bay.
I want to talk about this.
And she's wanting to test some spinal tissue because Beverly Crusher, she wants to test her subjects.
Yeah.
And then she says again, why is it so hot in here? And then we've got the doors getting punched in.
This is my favorite moment of the movie so far, watching it with you, because of the audible gasp.
Oh, when they punch the door?
No, the audible gasp when the EMH arrives.
Oh, a little bit later on, yeah.
And they're punching the door. They decide to, we're going to get out of here. We're going to escape. And Beverly says, I promised I'd never use one of these things. And says, computer, activate EMH. And then the doctor appears and you go,
I did.
Did you love what you were feeling when he turned up?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's fun. So Voyager must have been on TV at this time or something. Like, tell me about that. What's the crossover? Because audience,
not much.
For me, I would assume that they know who that is and that he's already on Voyager. So it's kind of a fun little, what do you call it? A little cameo.
So Voyager's been on the air for about a year to 18 months. So season 1 is done, and I think they're getting ready for season 2, or season 2 is just started.
So this is a nice little wink
so
and nod.
They know who the doctor is. Yeah,
it's a fun little introduction to this quirky, sassy doctor.
I'm a doctor, not a doorstop. Yeah, it's a great line. It was just really nice to hear, like, it was a bit of fan service that I heard service you.
Yeah,
like one of the first
I was like,
times,
I just wasn't really expecting to kind of see him. And when she said she didn't think that she'd use it, I thought she was talking about a phaser to like kill somebody or something.
Oh, no. Beverly has no problems phasering people. Yeah.
I remember that now. Yes, of course.
Yeah, you still got that horror element as well with the Borg punching the door to sick bay.
Right,
super scary.
We obviously have all the inclinations that this is a Borg.
Yes,
the door gets punched, and then Picard. We cut back over, and Picard is getting an update from Worf on the bridge.
Yeah,
he's about to send a team to seal off the bridge, and he's like, "Nope, he's like, to investigate. He says, no, seal the deck.
Seal it off. Let them burn.
Send them to these points.
We've already lost that deck. Anybody down there, they're dead. Don't worry about it.
And then he's like, they knew that their ship was doomed and they are going to assimilate the Enterprise and then Earth.
Yeah.
And that's when he says, Data, lock him out. He goes over and he's beep-bop-a-doop booping and he's getting at all the encryption stuff. He's quickly do-dat-and-dootin' and he manages to lock them out a little bit, isolates the main computer with a fractal encryption code and thinks that the Borg won't be able to break it.
Very confident they won't crack it.
And something about being contained to Deck 16, and he ominously says the Borg won't stay on Deck 16.
His line delivery throughout this movie is top tier Patrick Stewart.
It's really great. And it's really intense.
Stay on Deck 16.
Then we cut back and see them all escaping.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, would you like some medical cream for your irritation?
Can I recommend an analgesic? According to Starfleet records, board implants can cause severe skin irritation.
And so they all get into the Jefferies tube to escape from the medical bay, but Lily does not follow like she's supposed to.
Beverly, but you let her loose.
We can't think about that now because we're over just guns time. It's time to go to the armory and outfit our team. Picard is in battle gear. Looks fucking awesome.
He's got his battle vest on.
And the plan is to go to engineering and shoot the plasmas so that the coolant stuff will liquefy any of the organic tissue that they technically need to survive.
An excellent plan, Captain.
So
excellent idea.
Worf's like, we got 4 shots each and we're
12.
fucked.
There are 12. So Worf says, here's the phaser rifles. They've been retuned. We've got 12 shots each. Again, Mr. Worf, is it 12 shots total or 12 shots each?
I was thinking about that.
I need to know.
As soon as Worf said that, I was like, oh, Ian's going to have a problem with that.
Because if it's 12 shots total, you don't need to send everybody because you get, 1 shot each? You're just putting more people at risk. If it's 12 shots per phaser, dual wield, 2 phaser rifles each and 2 phasers in your boots.
1 on your back.
1 on your back.
The most horrifying part of this for me is the very clear line that
I know where you're going with this.
Picard has now completely identified the crew members as lost. As soon as they're assimilated, they're down. And we see him shoot somebody later on.
It's problematic.
And it is since he himself had survived. But that's part of what I think they need us to understand about the anguish that he has survived, and I think he knows he's a bit of a liability. I don't know. It's wild to me.
It's still brutal. It's really brutal.
It's horrible.
You'll be doing them a favor. There's no chance of there is chance of saving them. Like, we can say, thank goodness for the writers, Beverly isn't in the room because she has to speak up at that moment because she knows that you can save the crew. But Picard is like, you were doing them a favor, kill them. Like,
it is.
They're gone.
Cold.
Yeah.
It is intense, and it is immediately forgotten because Troy is drunk. And like, I understand the need to shift to a comedy moment. I get that because it's been really intense up until the Troy drunk beat. Like, there really hasn't been kind of a slowdown, and I understand that the pacing needs to kind of have like a little moment, little breather. But he says that, and I was really bothered by it. And then he kills his own crewman.
The one that's begging for help. Like Picard,
and then he searches through another one's chest without any emotion.
And Lily's line is so good. Tough break, huh? Like, she's just like calling him out, just like, I guess, like, hard luck for him then, I guess.
Nothing.
Whatever, like, no
Nothing
emotion.
From Picard.
Like, counterpoint. Grace for Picard. He knows the Borg better than anyone else. He knows what's at stake. I can see not having the luxury of a guilty conscience, not allowing himself to be sympathetic. Like, he's on a war footing now. The Enterprise and the people that he has left are the only chance to save all of humanity and probably the Alpha Quadrant as well, because this changes everything in the galaxy. No Kirk, no nothing, no Starfleet. No Federation, nothing. I guess that's a bit arrogant. There could have still been a Federation without the humans, but no Federation as we know it, and a really powerful Borg that have had 3 100 years in the Alpha Quadrant to expand. So I can understand
the tactical kind
the tacticalness behind it. And also, every crew member that the Borg gets isn't just one lost, it's one gained. So it becomes like, I don't think it's exponential, but it's like logarithmic or something. But whenever the Borg assimilate one, there's one more person that can do the assimilating. Maybe there were only 3 Borg that beamed aboard the ship.
Exactly.
And it's all stemmed from there. So it's not just saving the crew by killing them, it's stopping that crew member from assimilating 2 more crew members as well. But they don't explain that. It's just, it feels very jarring when Picard, the peacekeeper, is the one saying, kill them all. There, we've lost them.
It is. It's really, really jarring. And I, like you said, there's grace. There's an understanding in it. I think it's the right call in a way.
Yeah.
Because of how serious everything is. But maybe the pacing and the fastness of the action doesn't let something like that sink in. So when he has a crew member begging and he's shot and there's not even like a hesitation. And when Lily says, bad break, huh? You know, and he just is like, we got to go. And he leaves.
We got to get to the bridge.
I worry in a little bit that there's not that moment that we saw of him reflecting in his ready room when he put his tea down and suffered. Like, this is a man who has been doing that level of suffering for years and years. Yeah. And this is his therapy, is to kill his own crew members and murder Borg with machine guns.
Right. That scream, and it's relevant to jump to it now. There is
the anguish.
Like, you can say, like, really, Picard with a Tommy gun? Like, that doesn't feel very Star Trek. This is the best time for him to do that. Like, there's this argument, but why didn't you just go to, like, why didn't he replicate a starbase or a weapons locker that has tons of phasers and like loads of stuff that will kill the Borg? But he picks a machine gun. Like, he picks a very personal, weapon that you can feel the reverb and the scream. And then he runs in and like, he just wants, the job's obviously finished, but he's still going to pummel them. Like, that's a cathartic moment for him. And I get it. Like, yes, it's not very Star Trek, but it's very human.
It is human. And it also indicates, all of this indicates that he has been suffering and he doesn't want that for another crewman. Yeah. And he will do the suffering for all of humanity. If he's the only one that ever survives this kind of thing, he'll do it, but he doesn't want anyone else to have to do it. That just shouldn't be his call to make.
What?
I mean, maybe.
No. I'm agreeing with you.
In a world where they have time, I think it's a different conversation.
Yes.
If Beverly was there, they'd be trying to figure out how can we like put him in containment field or something.
Right now,
with the Borg taking over the ship, this is a time when it's. I mean, maybe go to war times where someone's sick and they're going to infect everybody. And if you don't kill them, then you're losing everyone. Oof. There's somebody that has to make those calls in these crazy times of when your life still has a value to your group. And seeing Picard do that is very, very unnerving. So for someone who maybe watched this and didn't know that about Picard, it's like, oh, no, that's not the version I want you to see of this guy. You know?
But we're seeing this. This is a version of Picard. This is the first time we've seen Picard really, really fight the Borg. Like, the Borg come back during TNG, but it's under weird circumstances with a singular Borg. We haven't watched that episode yet with Hugh. And then the Descent, which is like a broken sect of the Borg that's been taken by Lore. This is the first time we're really seeing Picard face his enemy and face his trauma
on his own turf.
On his own turf.
Ship.
And
over
being the one in
own
charge.
Earth.
Yeah. Which is, Riker was in charge last time, and now this is Picard's story against the Borg. And
it's really fun to watch it back to back. I can see why you wanted to do that.
And that's exactly it. Like, it really does relate to that battle more than any other Borg episode. It really relates to the best of both worlds more than anything. And I smiled earlier, because the second half of the movie, I cannot wait to talk about where Picard goes.
Okay, well, I think he might go like Rambo Feral for a while, and I'm fucking here for it.
Rambo Feral, let's go.
All right, well, you ready to see my girl get drunk?
Yeah, the more traumatic scene in this is down on the planet where poor Deanna has been exposed to something called tequila.
Man.
I love this scene so much.
Why do you love it? Tell me.
It's goofy. It's fun. It's always in the back of my head. It's Frakes directing Marina. to be like this. It's humor. It is the little break that we need. It's a great... So Cochrane has appeared in Star Trek before, the character. He's appeared in the original series, and he is found on an alien planet, and that's the first time that we hear Zefram Cochrane and what he is, the father of warp travel, and stuff happens in that episode. But he's a very kind of like... He's kind of stoic and very mature in that. He's not this. Like, this Cochrane is deliberately... James Cromwell's Cochrane is very deliberately goofy. He's a drunk. He's a bit all over the place. We'll find out more about him later in the movie. But it's not what you expect. It's a bit Doc
Brown.
Yeah, it's very Doc Brown. And it's not what you expect from Star Trek, which is kind of very serious. You expect warp travel was invented in a lab and wasn't this pioneering
No, it was a drunk man's revelation.
This drunk man revelation. And when we find out why he invented time travel, you've done it to me now. When we find out why he invented warp travel, it gets even better. But I love this scene, and it's... Star Trek doesn't always do comedy great, but Deanna being drunk works for me every single time, including time travel. There's no time to argue about time. We don't have the time.
Yeah.
I love that. I've used that in so many outtakes.
Poor woman's been groped by this asshole, though, so...
I mean, trying to keep his hands off me.
Yeah. My favorite part of this, I mean, it's always fun to see characters a little bit outside of their comfort zone, and certainly when you're drunk, that happens. But watching Riker's amusement of Troy, and when she just passes out, he's like, oh, God, this just got more complicated.
I rewind that moment so many times because there's a physical timing to that's so great. It's with the beat of the music, and then she hits the deck, and then he whips his head like an Elvis Presley whip almost to like look down to see what happened to her, and then
he just squeezes the bridge of his nose like, oh.
It's so funny. There's a musical bum to how that scene ends. I love it so much. How she sobered up so quickly, I don't know. I'm going to guess hypospray. Hypospray, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Does that scene work for you? Like the introduction of Cochrane and...
Oh, yeah.
The humor beats.
Oh, yeah.
I can't see it impartially. Like, it tickled 10-year-old Ian. It's going to tickle 50-year-old Ian.
I love when she's like, I'm just trying to blend in.
Oh, you're blended all right. Yeah. That's such a great line. That's so well written.
And she's like, he didn't believe the cover story. Do you think he can handle the truth? And then if you're
primitive society.
If you're looking for my professional opinion as the ship's counselor, he's nuts.
I could picture you saying that. Like, that's such a Deneé line.
And then Riker's like, I'll be sure to note that in my log. And then he's just dancing in the background, shimmying around. And it's just, And it's just like the juxtaposition of that. And then we go back onto the ship and it's Battle Picard with Battle Data and Battle Worf. And
it's so jarring. Like, is it really jarring to you? Because it's...
Like they are hunting.
I don't know, it works for me, but it's super jarring.
I mean, I love it because a lot of times when you're in a situation like this on a ship in normal, like in my mind, what the things that I'm pulling from memory, it's a well-lit hallway and they've got a little phaser set to stun and they're looking around for whoever they're hunting down and they're going to put up some force fields. But this is a takeover. This is the Borgified section of the ship.
This is the trenches now. The corridors of the Enterprise are the trenches.
They are all rightfully terrified because they know what the Borg can do. And in a fun fashion, they have Data be our first emotional connecting point. And Picard asks him to turn his chip off. Ugh. And I believe I'm feeling anxiety. It's an intriguing sensation, but it's most distracting. And Picard's like, Data, I'm sure it's a fascinating experience, but perhaps deactivate your emotion chip just for right now. And he kind of goes, and he goes that, and he says my favorite line of the movie so far, which is, Data, there are times that I envy you.
It's beautiful.
And it's such a great line because we're not able to do that. We're scared. And there's a moment when we see Lily being dragged through this moment and she's screaming at every single turn because it's absolutely terrifying.
Because she hates the Swedish.
Exactly.
No, it's an incredible line. There is so much feeling inside of it, and it speaks to where Picard is at without him having a breakdown or snapping at anyone or being like really panicked in this moment, but still communicating to Data, Oh, if only it was that easy. Like, you're right. It's an incredible line.
It really is. And then we go kind of into a lot of battle. I don't know how much you want to kind of get into here. There's just a lot of what we've experienced. They're going to take a couple fires. The Borg are going to adapt. It feels absolutely futile here in this moment because they're outnumbered, and eventually they get to a moment when they're going to be retreating. Picard is trying to get into engineering. He goes to like a little panel on the floor. He's trying to beep bop a doop a doop, and kind of nothing is really working. And it's really fun to see Worf go to battle, and Data is just ripping necks. Oh my god,
he's
chucking
snapping.
People.
He's snapping necks.
So
he's
cool.
Doing Borg bowling. Images that live in my head rent free is Worf using the fucking downswing and then immediate upswing.
Yeah.
And I believe that no human would do that, but that Klingon, because
he needs his bat lift is what he needs.
He needs his fucking bat lift.
They can't adapt to that, can they? Maybe they can adapt to slicing.
Shields.
I don't know.
I would just think shields would work, but anyway, bullets work.
It's crazy because we get to see the Borgifying the people. We're like a lot of a Borg has two pokey things come out of his armband and like stab somebody in the neck, and none of this stuff. Like now we know there's little nanos just like going on little highways that's just been put into that kid's neck, and he's out. I
think that's the first time we see the assimilation tubules.
So the props department is just having a fucking field day. Yeah. This is props department on the walls, and then you've got all the people that are putting on prosthetics. This is fun. This is a fun day on set.
It really is, and I love the redesign of the Borg as well. The Borg in this movie are terrifying. They're really so scary. Good. They're like really refined. They look more moist. They're really like tacky and clammy.
Yeah, they definitely, the humidity, they talk about the humidity needing to be specific, so you can really see that.
That's why,
and they are very much more like linebackers, whereas the first Borg looked like dancers.
Yes.
Still strong.
Wobbling around.
They're very strong. Dancers are very strong, but they're live, you know?
Yes. They're walking around like terrifying zombies. Like they're not really sprinting, but they are running. There is an incredible shot where two Borg walk around the corner, get shot. 3 Borg immediately flank them, and they're immune. Like their shields work. It's so scary. And that just
daunting.
Encapsulates why the Borg are so scary. Like they will just adapt and they will keep coming. Extremely well shot action scenes all the way through. The Worf choreograph with the beating them up with his rifle is incredible. The physicality of it.
And then the horrifying moment when Data calls out, Captain!
And he gets his legs swept away and sucked into an engine. I don't know how they knew he was there. I don't know, like very convenient standing position, but yeah, super duper scary. What were you thinking in that moment? Like, what's going to happen to Data? Like, did you think it was a deliberate thing, an act of convenience? Like, what were you thinking in that moment?
I think everything is deliberate with the Borg, but then if I say that, I don't understand why they let Picard and Lily walk around later. But I think it's because they're not really interested in Picard at this point. They know that Data is the one that they need to have.
Yeah.
He has the information inside of him somewhere, and so I'm assuming it was very deliberate.
So Picard bumps into Lily as they're all on the back foot. They're all retreating, and we have like a few scenes of just how badly this fight is going, with Enterprise crew members being wiped out, retreating, taking out. Like it's really fucking
It's hard
miserable.
to watch.
It's hard to see how futile the fight is.
It's both fun and hard. Like it's fun to watch them open up panels on the floor and go from one deck to the next. Why not just do that all the time? That's super convenient.
That's better than Jefferies Tubes.
And then you've got then you're going into the wall. So there's just all these ways to just skitter around this ship.
Happened.
But yeah, it's inside there that he's bamboozled by Lily and attacked by her, and and her phaser the whole time is set to vaporize, and so
Jesus. But Deneé, it's her first ray gun.
It's her first ray gun though. It's so cute. I love that line so much.
It's my first ray gun. That's exactly what I would say.
It doesn't actually happen like right then, but that whole scene that they've got, because again they're doing such a great job of cutting kind of back and forth, and while we know that Picard has been taken by Lily, we now see that Data has been taken by the Borg, and so he's being drilled into.
Here we
but
go.
We don't know. We don't see right away the queen, but we hear her voice. And that's really interesting.
And here is the introduction of the Borg queen.
Brave words I've heard before from thousands and thousands, long before you were created. And now they are all Borg. He's like, I'm unlike any life form. My information can't be removed. And she says, you are imperfect. Finding weakness is only a matter of time. And then they begin drilling into his head, which is really difficult to watch.
Oh, I knew that moment in particular would be your get the fuck off of my data. Like,
I hate
like
it so
drilling
much.
into his head.
It's really hard to watch. And the pacing is great because it cuts away from that and it goes back to Geordi and Riker and Deanna trying to convince, Z that there's a cyber creatures from the future that have traveled back in time to enslave this race.
It's
and he's just like,
damn, you're heroic.
Yeah. And then he goes over and looks through, the telescope into the sky and he's like, that's a good trick. How'd you do that? But
no, it's great. And it does lead to one of the most eye-rolly moments in all of Star Trek.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was...
You guys are astronauts on some kind of Star Trek. And all I'm to swear the cast are looking at each other.
Uh-huh.
It's the first time the word Star Trek have been uttered on screen. I don't know. I mean, I guess something else to take in mind is that it's 1996. It's the 30th anniversary of Star Trek.
Oh,
so this is very much like a 30th anniversary celebration. New Enterprise, the origins. This is very much the origins of Star Trek. It's the origins of Starfleet, and it is the origins of Star Trek in universe as well. So there's that reason that makes it a really smart reason to.
I liked it. I didn't mind
the movie
it.
where it is.
I thought it was fun.
It's fine. I'll allow it.
There was that episode, the documentary episode of Strange New Worlds, when they're all sort of. I think it's actually Uhura who has that kind of speech about how important their missions are.
Yes.
And how important Starfleet is.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt that same vibe when the crew is talking about making first contact in this pivotal moment in history when everything changes from then on. The theory that allows fleets of ships to be built unites humanity when they realize that they're not alone in the universe. The poverty, disease, war, all gone in 50 years. And it's such an important thing to say because up until then, it's just a fun sci-fi movie with action and things. But then you remember, no, this is the world that Gene Roddenberry imagined. This is them restating the whole purpose of the show to kind of postulate what would happen if in the future this is possible, that somehow our little tiny planet can be noticed by some greater thing out there that decides that we're ready to be adopted into something bigger than ourselves, and how fun that has been to kind of imagine. And it's inspired movies and books and shows and conventions and conversations and podcasts and merch, all of the things that just sort of like, no matter what you like about Star Trek, whether it's the funny stuff or like the serious stuff or all of it, it's an important thing to state. It's important to be reminded why the show exists. And I really enjoyed that moment. It felt really important.
I love it. I take it back. It's not eye-rolly at all. You've just convinced me. It's fine. It's an excellent point. Like, it is restating, it's explaining to the father of warp drive that makes it all possible.
Yeah.
Like, what Star Trek is. What is what was Gene's vision of the future? And it takes being part of something bigger for us to finally stop fighting among ourselves and to unite and have a united Earth instead of factions, instead of different countries. And it's at the lowest point just after World War III, as low as the planet could ever be. And we finally start the path, and it's all through space and aliens and exploration. And it's what Star Trek is. It's an extremely important scene, and it's a really clever one to put in the movie.
And it does feel a bit eye-rolly because it's an on-the-nose moment, and maybe I felt that too a little bit in the Strange New Worlds episode whenever she's kind of like talking to camera. But people are simple. Sometimes you just need to be told, this is what I need you to do. I need you to jump on board. This is what you're jumping on board to, not just the next scene where we're watching Borgs assimilate people and it's really uncomfortable. That's interesting to watch. But what you're really on board for is this concept. And Picard talks about it with Lily about not having money and living for like deeper purposes. So there's just enough in here to remember why you're watching Star Trek.
Yes.
It's fun, but here's the why. Here's why you band together as a fan base and ask for more. Here's why you get upset when Strange New Worlds ends and you're like, please, can we do another one? Please, you know? And then they're like, okay, well, there's enough buzz out there. They'll watch it.
It's a premise that won't die. Like, I truly believe that. The premise itself is, I just think it will outlive almost any other piece of content, because at its core, regardless of what you do with it, there is hope. There is an optimism to why we're doing it.
And you have to remember that when you're watching the horrors of skin being stretched over Borg stuff in the next scene, but whatever.
But it is formatted really, really well, where it's the crew explaining it to Cochrane and Picard explaining it to Lily. Like, they're all getting bits of the story themselves and being in orbit above Earth and getting to point at it and say, that's what we become. Like, that planet, this is where it goes in just 60 years because of you and this warp flight.
I like how he kind of, so what do you say? And he goes, why not? It wasn't some magnificent speech.
No.
It wasn't some, I get to be part of something bigger. He's like, sure, I guess after I'm drunk, whatever.
I haven't got anything
I'll go
better to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get back onto the Enterprise.
The horrors await us.
There is,
and this has the epic moment when you get to see the lasers walking towards the thing.
I was just about to say, there is one when we're talking about the montage of how badly the battle is going. The lasers coming out of the dark room is such an iconic image. I want it as a poster. It's horrifying. I want to know what they were doing in there. Just like, let's hide. Just wait. It's going to be rich. Trust me. If anybody opens that door, this is going to look so fucking cool. They're all just waiting in there for their big moment.
We also learn very quickly in the next scene that they're stopping at a specific deck, and I don't know why.
Ambassador, what's your prediction? Why are they stopping at deck 11?
Well, they mentioned that there was botanicals.
There's something else.
So, hydroponics.
Yeah, something else as well.
And I didn't write that down.
There's one other thing on deck 11, and I guess we'll find out next week.
I guess it's the one thing that I didn't write. Oh, the dolphins.
No, Cetacean Ops is not. Might be. No, Cetacean, it would make sense. Cetacean Ops might be on deck 11. Assimilate the dolphins right now. We will get to that next week, but there is something crucial on deck 11.
Crucial up there, something critical, because you don't have lines like that for no reason, but there's no tactical advantage, but there has to be a reason that they stopped. And I think that reason will help them take the ship back. So I can kind of see maybe everybody going to deck 11 as like a last point.
Why did we have to stop?
We have to stop.
There is so much. There's not just good shit coming. There is specifically made for Deneé good shit coming.
Oh, monkeys?
I'm not saying, wait, what?
I don't know. I love the idea of monkeys grabbing snowballs and throwing them at the Borg, and they can't stop it.
Yeah, they couldn't stop that. I would be bamboozled by that. They have stopped at deck 11.
What would stop the Borg? Something that they can't assimilate.
The whales. It's the whales.
It's cold. They can't make it.
It is very cold. In space.
There's a great question. Why don't they just open up the windows and suck them out to space?
Because not every deck has windows. Like
that's just a design
that doesn't
flaw.
help with the internal bits of that. Helps if the Borg are just on the
they're in the ship,
hull,
aren't they?
But they're in the middle of the ship where there aren't windows.
Okay.
Yeah. I do want to get back to the Borg Queen. So we now get to see the Borg Queen. This, for me, is such a bold move to make, because Data says, like, who are you? She says, I am the Borg. And he says, that's a contradiction. The Borg are a collective. It's taking the thing that made the Borg unique and kind of making it more normal. Now you have a singular enemy to focus on, a person, a character. But isn't she juicy? Alice Krieg.
Rest in peace.
She did pass away, yes. Did she?
Yeah, really recently.
No, she did. She passed from cancer, I believe.
2023.
Yeah, really recently.
And yes, from cancer.
She is incredible. She is the Borg Queen. Like, she contributes so much to the Borg. The way she speaks. I recently watched her in Silent Hill as well. She plays a terrifying character in Silent Hill. Her line delivery is second to none. It's so good. The way she slithers around Data and seduces him. Was that good for you?
Oh my God, of course. I don't know that it's seduction as much as it is. I mean, yes, I guess it is. I think we think of seduction as being very sexual, but it's not. You know,
exactly. It doesn't have to be.
It's knowledge, it's experience, it's knowing how to entice a being in a way that you need. She wouldn't be having any conversations if she could get the codes.
Oh, 100%.
This is all an attempt to figure out codes. And so
she
it's
already
like,
knows that she can't get the codes by pulling them out of a USB drive.
Right. It's Chat GPT in human form figuring out to get what they want, going, I'm going to use all of the information I have from all assimilated before this being to get what I want. And based on the analysis they've done so far, they're like, oh, you want to be human? How about do you know what the erector pili are?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Are they the little goose pimples that you have?
Yeah. So in our skin, we have these little bitty, erector pili. I think it's actually, let me just make sure it's a muscle. It has to be because I learned it when I was in school. The erector pili muscles are tiny, smooth muscles that attach to hair follicles. And so when you get the chills, it's actually your muscles contracting and pulling the surface of your skin closer to your body.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so it appears as though your hair is instantly growing, but really what's happening is that it's pulling the muscles down and your hair is more exposed.
Oh, that's horrible. Things I wish I didn't know.
It's not horrible.
That sucks. I liked the other thing better.
It traps the insulation. It's part of our skin. But anyways, that's how it works. That's how it operates. It's tiny little muscles. It's really fucking cool.
It's really cool. You've imparted some gross knowledge onto me. Can I impart some onto you?
I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay. Continue.
So what's interesting is it's not just skin that she's grafted to him. It has to also be muscles. But I don't know that the show would know that because we just think that your skin gets the goosebumps. But what actually makes the goosebumps is muscle tissue.
Oh, that's the best nitpick I think I've ever heard you come up with. That's incredible. I don't know that I've ever heard that, well, a nitpick that specific about Star Trek. Like, yeah, you didn't graft muscle onto him as well as skin.
They had to have.
That's amazing. Yeah. But you don't really see it. You just see the skin stretch.
Right. Like you would look at your arm and see yourself get the goosebumps and you think that it's like, I don't know what you think is happening, but it's actually your skin getting closer to your body. And you're
such an anatomy nerd.
I love anatomy
it.
Though. Yeah,
I'll send the warp drives and stuff, and you do the anatomy.
The other thing is that this is controlled by involuntarily. This happens involuntarily through your nervous system, the sympathetic part of your nervous system. So they also squeeze sebaceous glands, it's just fascinating stuff. So what they've done is they've introduced an electrical current through skin tissue that is technically attached to some kind of a muscle to pull it down to show the goosebumps, which they could have done. And
yes.
And they probably just didn't want to explain all that. But you know what? If you're going to put in all the mumbo jumbo techno babble that you do, talk about the erector pili muscles.
You want biology mumbo jumbo as well. There is a way that it could have been muscle and skin. I didn't make this connection until relatively recently. I would say it was probably about 3 years ago. That's more than likely Data wearing the skin of his crewmate.
Yes, absolutely. It's very fresh.
They didn't replicate that.
No, they don't keep that in their little baby bins that they have.
Yeah, why would they replicate it when you have a crew to choose from? Yeah. Somebody was literally skinned and Data was given that skin.
And the feeling of goosebumps, which he'd never felt before.
Horrifying. Absolutely
It really, really is. But let's talk about her performance because, and I know this is probably something that everybody talks about, so I don't want to sound like a broken record or like
break the record.
Repeat chats that you've had maybe with your friends watching this, but there is not a character that I can remember watching on screen that is the definition of confidence. And that is what is satisfying about watching this performance. Yes. There's not a part of her performance that has any doubt at all about what they're doing.
She's going to win. She's going to seduce Data into giving over the codes.
This is not, there's not even really a pleasure in playing with her food. This is all just a tactic.
It's getting there.
To get to what she wants.
Yes.
And the way that she's controlling her face muscles to be very specific and not really express as much as just invade, it is so fun to watch.
It's so good.
It is so fun to watch. And watching her like come from above. Descend from above. Because when we saw
I still don't know how they do that
ceiling, yeah, it's really cool. Green screen.
I mean, yes.
But when we saw the ceiling earlier, when Data was looking up at the ceiling, you kind of think that maybe that they've installed some speakers to voice the collective or something. And it's sort of just up there. But no, up there somewhere is a little head and a spinal column just waiting for the body to be ready. And then they give the voice a body, and then that becomes, this interaction. Yeah. And I think that the other interesting part to consider is that until they did this with Picard, they may not have realized the value of having a face to represent their goal. And they've done that now with the Queen, which makes sense with the insect idea.
It's a little nod back to the insect hive thing and having a queen. It's such while you're like revisiting the old lore of Star Trek, you're introducing new lore to like one of the most famous villains as well. She's incredible. The prosthetic for the Borg Queen. So fun. She looks stunning. She looks incredible. Just incredible. Like, just it's not creating a new alien, but like adapting an alien that we already know. She looks so unique and glamorous at the same time, like
regal.
Regal. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
And that's that confidence. That's what I mean. This is a being that has no enemy, that has no need, that has no want. It's just the need and the want, I suppose, is when they start talking about the mission, because she does say that they have a mission, and so
yes,
the mission is perfection. And it's a little bit confusing because their mission is perfection. And he says, forgive me, the Borg do not evolve, they conquer. And she's like, by assimilating other beings, we bring them closer to perfection. So it's not even perfection for themselves. It is perfection for everybody by adding them to themselves. And then he's like, I question your motives. I question your motives.
I love that line.
And then she's like, well, that's because you haven't been properly stimulated yet. And so the idea that they're like, well, the idea of perfection is a stimulation of your brain to tell you what is perfection. They're hacking people.
Yeah.
And so then his emotion chip is reactivated.
But then Data might be like, I think Data's point of view might be, you're not chasing perfection. You are wanting servants. Like, you are conquering. Like, you can say it's perfection, but what you actually want is to control everybody. And maybe somewhere buried deep, there is the original goal of the Borg was, let's assimilate everybody into one community, which is what the Federation does. Find all of the best parts and make those best parts the being that everybody is.
What if the Borg are the Federation?
I mean, in the future.
Yeah.
In the future, and they come back in the past.
Yeah.
It would make sense. That would be about the only satisfying origin of the Borg, is that they are the natural conclusion of the Federation, which is to homogenize everybody. But they just take a more direct route. The Federation talks and does diplomacy. The Borg eventually this is for the greater good, so we're just going to scoop everybody up. And we're going to start in the past.
Ooh, that's so scary.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, Gene, what have you done?
Let's go. What did you do, Gene?
The Borg Queen is a very satisfying addition to the movie. Yes. It's unexpected because we've seen just Borg. We've seen women Borg also.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's mostly been just looming men Borg, or just a lot of prosthetic. You can't really even see the form there. I would love to see like less humanoid looking ones, like throw in some different alien species so that we can kind of see that variation that they talk about.
Yeah.
But the Borg Queen is a very interesting choice to make. It's also like a conflict because you both think that she is beautiful and terrifying at the same time. So it's a really beautiful juxtaposition of like, we're genuinely curious about her and as this character, but Data is pointing out you're very, very dangerous. And right now where we left it is that he is being stimulated, but it is for the goal of retrieving information. And so, how they're going to get that information is going to be hard to watch, just like it was hard to watch Picard, be tortured and have his humanity removed. It's going to be hard to watch that with Data because there's always the question of, is he going to come back from this,
Yeah, like they forced Picard to give the information that they needed. They're going to have to convince Data. They're going to have to bring him onto their team, onto their side, which is just as insidious.
It really, really is. So
we've pretty much covered what happens in the holodeck. So they run in, Picard and Lily run into the holodeck because Picard needs to get a Borg body to get their neural transmitter to find out what orders they've received, to find out what their plan is. We get into the Dixon simulation, Dixon Hill. That's one of Picard's
favorites.
Big fanboy things that he loves to do, and it's come up in TNG a lot. Neelix is the bar guy, Ethan Phillips. Oh yeah,
I knew I recognized his voice.
Front.
Yeah.
Love that. So we get 2 Voyager cameos in this, kind of. And yeah, just the brutalness of, putting aside the fact that I don't think any kind of bullet should work against the Borg, but yeah, the brutalness of Picard tearing them down, ripping through the guts, the little comm badge that makes it obvious it's one of the crew. And yeah, I gotta get to the bridge. What does he know, Ambassador? What did he find out?
Well, he now knows their instructions. The instruction that the Borg has received from the collective.
Any guesses what it is?
If it's not assimilate everything that you see in front of you, then I don't know what. Why does it matter?
Oh, it matters.
Your shit-eating grin is so Riker.
It's so Riker. There's an extra element. It links back to what's happening on Deck 11 as well. Stopping at this point is so perfect because you find out pretty quick, but it genuinely would make a great cliffhanger. It is like there is now a mystery on the Borg side of things where the crew of the Enterprise has more information than the Borg think they do. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to get into the next bit of the movie. That is where we stopped, literally, with them exiting the holodeck and Lily wondering, the man that she's teamed up with that's just talked about an end to war, poverty, the quest for wealth, has now just done something very brutal to his own crew. Yeah, I am so happy that you love this movie so far, Ambassador.
Oh, I love it.
I am so confident you're going to love the next half. You love this movie.
I'm really enjoying this movie.
You're enjoying it so much. Do you see why it's my favorite?
Yeah, absolutely. It's action-packed. It's fun. It has some good humor beats to it. There's a mystery within a mystery. They are doing unexpected things, and I'm really excited to see the second half. I think for those of you that are listening, just know that we're not actually watching it next. We have to wait to watch it. So I literally will be on a cliffhanger for an indeterminate amount of time because we're recording these as fast as we can so we can take a bit of a Christmas break. But our idea was to record both parts in one day, but we didn't get to do that today. So I literally am going to be wondering what the heck is happening and what is on Deck 11. So when we come back to record the second half, I'll have had some time to think about what I
love it. We'll have some predictions at the top of next episode.
Yeah, I want some time to think about what it would be.
What is on Deck 11?
What did he find inside his crewmate? What's he going to do? It's going to be curious. I'm not as interested about what's happening on the surface because obviously it's like, okay, you're going to build a ship and then it's going to go at some point. But I'm guessing that the Borg are going to beam down to make that more interesting because there needs to be kind of more action in that area. It can't just be drinking. So I can easily predict that. Like there's a lot of forest behind them. So maybe we'll have like the forest. I'm remembering Picard whenever they came through, like I think the field,
oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember that.
So, but yeah, I really like this. I like going and looking at this part of Picard's story. And I think it would be a really interesting idea to rewatch all of Picard because it will be more fresh in my mind as to what was happening kind of in that series and how it relates to the Borg. I was really interested in what the Queen was talking about because of the purpose of the Borg continues to evolve, where they've gone from like, we will assimilate you and add you to our own. Now it's like, we have a mission. We have this. Well, is that something that a program told you a long time ago? Yeah. And to know that we still don't fucking know is so wild to me.
What about the Borg? Yeah. How it started? Yeah, we still don't have an origin for the Borg outside of the books, which don't count.
It's so smart. It's so smart to keep that nebulous because then you can always play with it a little bit.
They didn't almost do it in Discovery, but there were theories about Discovery Season 2. There was a being that was very Borg-like, and we were almost certain it was going to be the origin of the Borg, but they didn't do it. And I was like, good. Didn't need it. I genuinely think we don't need an origin for the Borg. Just keep them as they are. Yeah, love it. I am over the moon. I never know if you're going to love something as much as I do.
I don't know that I love it as much as you do.
Oh, no.
Watching you record this episode has been absolutely crazy. your arms are wiggling around, you're jumping around, you're so happy.
I'm so happy.
I don't know that I'll ever love Trek as much as you love Trek.
Fair, but to know that you love it
really
in your
enjoying
way,
it,
you're really enjoying it.
And I'm not lying about it either.
No, like you'd absolutely say it, and that's why I get a little bit nervous. I'm like, oh no, she's not, but that would have made for a great conversation as well. What you don't like about it, but it is so gratifying to watch something with you that you're really enjoying.
I do wonder if there's a part of me that would really struggle to not enjoy anything TNG-ish because of, like I said, it's just part of my sci-fi adoration is TNG. Like, it didn't start with another sci-fi show. It started with TNG. So it's really hard to kind of like go, oh no, I'm a fan service girl. Like, you
service me.
You can put this in front of me and I don't know how I don't like it. So I'm maybe a little biased in that way.
I know that's exactly where I am. I love all of the TNG movies. I think you're going to love Nemesis. And not everybody, so many people hate Nemesis, the final TNG movie. But I think for that very reason, you're going to enjoy it as well. And I really enjoy it. It's just that crew, they can do no wrong. Like,
it's so,
I just want time with them.
This is not the podcast you listen to if you want to have another opinion about it. I'm so sorry. It's not going to be very objective. I apologize.
This is the TNG train. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everybody. Well, thank you for listening to that part. Next part, the conclusion of First Contact, will be in your feed next Wednesday. You can get it on Tuesday if you sign up to the Ian and Deneé Patreon. All of our links for Discord and email are in the description of this episode. Happy holidays, everybody. I hope you had a great Christmas time, whatever holiday you celebrated. I hope you had a lovely one, and we will see you next week. And until next week, I'm Captain Ian, and I'm going to attempt to graft organic skin onto my endoskeletal structure.
And I'm just trying to blend in.
Live long and Podsper.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Captain's Pod. If you'd like to get in touch with the podcast, you can send us an email to ian@iananddeneé.com. And if you want to support the show and get the episodes early, you can go to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/iananddeneé. If you want to catch the show live, we have those links down in the description for YouTube and Twitch. And then I think I'm supposed to close this hailing frequency, so bloop bloop, we're out. How much fun was it today to be walking around the thrift store and find a Voyager?
We did. We found a Voyager hallmark ornament, and Picard standing in a corridor, which I've already got.
I think that's the arch.
I don't think he's in a arch.
It's the computer
arch. There's not enough shit going on.
It's the computer arch, sir.
Arch wasn't invented yet. I mean, they're saying it like that. Yeah, it's really cool, but you've got to plug it into. You have to plug it into the Christmas lights,
which
we
don't
can't plug it in. We don't have modular things
like the new Christmas lights.
Yeah,
we would have to get a strand of old Christmas lights and run it up in there
to get it to light.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing is that the warranty doesn't expire until 1999.
Plenty of time.
So that's great. It's wild to think that I was, let's say, 8 years old when that model was made, and it's lived a life. Since I was 8, it's lived 27 years of life. Like 27 years it's been hanging around, and it looks great. It's like it hasn't been out of the box.
But it has been on so many journeys.
Who knows?
When I saw it, what I thought of was the episode when the Voyager gets tiny.
Blink, blink.
Doesn't the Voyager, like, doesn't it become like really tiny and it like flies around?
No.
That didn't happen?
No.
Is that a dream I had?
Didn't happen to Voyager.
Who did it happen to?
It happened to a runabout in Deep Space Nine.
Oh.
One little ship.
Oh, that's right.
And it flies around nudging the Jem'Hadar.
Mm-hmm.
And then Worf is inside Jadzia's inside, looking really small, waving at Worf.
So we need to get a little runabout one.
Tiny runabout.
Tiny one. I bet I could just make it out of clay.
I bet I could 3D print it.
I bet I could make it out of sticks.
I bet I could 3D print it. I'm always going to reply with that. It's the date today, 20.
Tomorrow is my pop's birthday.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, Papa Papa Boyshausen.
Yeah, my dad, my mom, dad, daddy, mom, dad, mom, dad, daddy, mom, dad, mom, dad, daddy, mom, dad.